Funding now on Indiegogo. It's Shadowbinders, our second chance offer to get 2 hardcovers of our classic webcomic delivered to your door. Steampunk, fantasy, and romantic comedy from Clownfish Comics. Go to Indiegogo, check out the link in the description below. Now on with the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And during yesterday's shareholder call with Disney, a very irate shareholder asked Bob Chapek about the Gina Carano situation, and he got a typical Disney non-answer.
Apparently someone asked about Kathleen Kennedy too.
Yes, they did, and it didn't go over well with the media.
No, no, the media, of course, is doing what you thought they would do. Mm-hmm. But it's funny because I didn't see this because after the first 2 or 3 questions where it was just like, hi, I am so-and-so and I've had, Disney stock since before I was born and I was a Disney cast member. And oh my gosh, Chapek, you're the bestest ever. I shut it down because I was like, I can't listen to any more of this barf-inducing bullshit. Apparently after the fact though, somehow these people got through with their questions. I don't know if they just said it was one question and changed it.
I don't know.
Or what? But they got through.
Yeah, they were not.
I missed it, damn it.
Not very happy. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the media's spin, which is poor Disney. Poor Disney got bullied by the alt-right Yahtzees.
How dare Disney shareholders ask questions at the shareholder meeting where they're supposed to ask questions?
How dare they? So we're going to talk about that. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 181,000, almost 182,000 subs. We actually do get more video views than the official Star Wars YouTube channel.
Well, they get half their views, people there to downvote it.
Yeah, so this situation, the Gina Carano situation, the Kathleen Kennedy situation, it has spilled out over outside of YouTube, outside of geek circles. Now you've got shareholders, average shareholders, asking Disney what the hell is going on, and they're getting non-answers and
it was a total non-answer. It was just all it reminded me of is if you've ever seen Miss Congeniality, where they, and world peace, they just basically talk in circles and world peace. That's what it was. It was like that.
And that's exactly the kind of answer that Bob Chapek gave. He was like, well, Disney's not a left-leaning or right-leaning company, even though we almost exclusively.
Well, the person asked about the blacklist. They said they're the conservative blacklist. And here's the thing. We are hearing from people who are at Disney, multiple sources, that there are people that are afraid they're going to lose their jobs because they don't have the right political leaning. And even if you're moderate, you might be in trouble. So there most definitely is something going on. Yeah. Contrary to what he said.
And I think that was something that Bob Iger set in motion because Iger has had his eye on the White House for the Democrats.
Well, I gotta tell you, what I'm also hearing from people is that it was mostly Iger. That Chapek doesn't want the company to be that. So we might see some changes, but who the hell knows? Because they mentioned that the diversity initiatives repeatedly, even in his answer, he used the diversity initiative, which has literally nothing to do with the question that was being asked.
Read off the card, Bob. If anybody asks you these questions, you've got here's some notes. Flip through the note cards and find the correct answer.
Well, they didn't have video of him, so I wonder if he was doing that thing where he looks at the ceiling, looks all over the place, like he does when he has to answer something hard.
He's flipping through his index cards trying to find the right answer they gave him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, we actually ducked out of the shareholder meeting because it was boring. That Star Wars girl, she actually put up an audio clip, and I transcribed it for you. So this is what happened. Chapek was asked by this salty shareholder. It's clear that there's a new blacklist punishing conservatives in the entertainment industry. Disney Plus actors Pedro Pascal and Gina Carano tweeted similar analogies of current political events to Yahtzee Germany.
Which is true.
Yet only Carano, who is considered a conservative, was fired from The Mandalorian. Regarding Disney and a blacklist, this is the way.
They did. It was.
Ouch.
I was like, no. Okay,
and here is Chapek's non-answer. He said that he wasn't going to talk about the blacklist. He said, I really don't see a Disney as characterizing itself as right-leaning or left-leaning.
Bullshit. You might not see it, but everybody else does.
He said that Disney was interested in standing for values that are universal, such as decency and integrity, as well as making content that is reflective of the rich diversity of the world we live in.
So our values are universal, decency and integrity. Yeah, we see that so much in things like, way you treated characterization of Finn in Star Wars, the way you defend certain people in your company, but not other people. And then go about diversity. What's diversity have to do with any of this?
What's diversity?
Okay, if that was the case, then why is Pedro Pascal, a man, allowed to say something that a woman's not allowed to say?
He's a diverse man with the right politics.
She's a woman. So she's got diversity in boxes too. So I'm like, that was like, and world peace, the content and reflective of the rich diversity and world peace. Because they mentioned diversity repeatedly during the stupid investor call. I mean, if you took a shot every time they mentioned diversity, you'd be drunk.
Yeah, I think Disney's getting a little drunk with it. And they're almost like, I mean, I've seen these companies now, they're apologizing that they're not firing non-diverse people fast enough. They're like, we're working on it. We're trying to get more diverse.
This is another case. They're using diversity as a shield.
Yeah.
I don't want to answer the questions. Oh, look, diversity. They're literally using diversity and diverse people as a shield.
Humana. Brown person over there. Look.
Yeah.
We've got one.
I know,
one.
Right?
We've got one working here.
I'm just like, that's what if you look at this, is what they're using it as. Diversity. Next question. It's like, they're literally using diverse people as a shield. At this point.
I know, right? This is ridiculous. So somebody asked about Kathleen Kennedy getting fired. Chapek said, we've been thrilled to have creative talent, the likes of Kathy Kennedy, to run Lucasfilm, and look forward to her running it for many years to come. Many years to come. I don't know about that. She's almost 70, isn't she? Like 70? I don't think she's going to be.
I don't know. I mean, Disney likes losing money, I guess. And the thing is, people were mad because people asked these questions. And you have the comment from the Mary Sue here, yeah. Yeah,
so the Mary Sue and a lot of news outlets they're totally taking Disney's side. They're like, oh my God, these trolls just came in to the investor call, the shareholders. Oh my God, how dare they?
Someone said their values are universal. What are those values, Disney? Please lay them out in a way that we can see them. Please elaborate. What values? Please tell us what your values are. Because for every time you name a value, I can show you an example of where you didn't follow said value. You're not about family. You're not about your cast member family. They're the first ones to get thrown under the bus. I want to remind you, but at the beginning of the meeting, there were shareholder initiatives that they were being presented to be voted on. One included political transparency in political donations, so that they can see where the money's going for politics. Because remember, and they mentioned the fact that they actually tried to leverage their political donations to make people vote the way they wanted to about the confirmation. They said, well, that's a little concerning. Can you just show us some transparency into how much you're donating, where it's going, why you're sending money to political candidates, what that really has nothing to do with the company? And it was voted down. It was a close vote, though. And it was voted down. They also had another initiative asking that they put like some cast members on the board that, are more in touch with the reality of the average person instead of these out of touch, executives and investor types, so that we could have some, clarity on maybe what ways some of their programs would impact families or impact cast members, etc., which was also voted down. So again, where are these values that you stand for, Disney? I would love to see a list. Would you please put one out so we can look at your list of values? Thank you.
That's whatever the stock value is for that.
Yeah,
day.
Value beyond stock value.
That's what the value of Disney.
But it's funny because all these places were saying about, it was so wrong that they let people ask questions. That is the literal reason they have the shareholder meeting once a year.
Yeah.
And so people can ask questions. And they don't sit there and say, no, you don't get to answer that question because you didn't vote the way we want you to.
Well, yeah, the media, they would love to shut people up. So this is the end of, again, these articles on sites like the Mary Sue. They always start off like, look how balanced we are, and then by the end of it, they become unhinged.
Trump.
Yeah. Well, they can't demonize Trump anymore, so they're coming after conservatives.
One place, I don't know if it was this or another site, was like, because one person was from a certain state, it was from Texas or something like that. That explains everything. They're from Texas, and people from Texas were like, what's that supposed to mean? Anyway,
you got a problem with Texas,
I think it was Texas. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was. Go ahead.
All right, so this is what the Mary Sue said. What's concerning to me is that this sounds like the angry fanboy rhetoric I see spread online. These fans seem to think that they know more than the creatives behind the franchise, and it's frustrating to see that reflected in an investor's call. Chapek did an incredible job responding to them, simply shutting down the Carano Pascal response and praising Kathleen Kennedy. But the fact that these questions were even asked is shocking.
The fact that anybody was allowed to have any opinion opinion other than ours. Oh my God, it's literally killing people.
Hopefully in the future, they keep these sort of fan-based ridiculous anger questions out of calls, but still.
Whoa.
Still.
Okay, whoa. Let's look at this for a minute, though. How is it fan-based anger questions? These are actually things that are being reported on the media. It's been an issue. And they have taken a hit with Disney Plus. People have been going around and commenting on all these videos and they're downvoting things, and they're letting Disney know on their phone lines and everything from people inside Disney. It's not a little thing. It's a bigger thing than we think. And it's not just about the Gina Carano. It's just about the thing in general. It's like all these choices are becoming worrisome to some shareholders and families and stuff. And it's not out of their own possibility. How dare you ask a question that a lot of people want an answer to?
Yeah.
During a shareholder meeting that a lot of shareholders want to know an answer to.
Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you ask that question when you should just suck it up? And he answered it very well. He didn't answer anything. Don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for next product. He answered nothing.
I love this. So Disney's going to have, it's very clear, despite headlines like this, it is very clear where Disney is current year politically. They're only really giving to left-leaning causes.
I don't care who you are. If you're going to look at this and just be completely fair and not put your political biases on it, which why I think it has to have political bias, I don't know. But if you're looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, I'm not even conservative, okay? And I'm looking at this and I'm like, there's a clear bias.
You're lying. You're an alt-right Yahtzee.
Well, anybody that's it doesn't agree with them 100% is considered. Yeah. So, by definition and actual, reality, I'd be considered liberal. And I can see where there's some questionable actions being taken, and there's a double standard here at Disney. And it does feel like that there is a concerted effort to silence certain people.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, looking factually at this as facts, that's what comes up.
Yeah.
Taking emotions out of it, just looking at the actual ways, the behaviors we've seen, there's a definite skew to one way.
Yeah. Yeah. And people are noticing. And here's the thing, especially when right now, the only thing they really got going for them, because Disney Plus is going to take a few years for that to turn a profit, right? What they have going for them is Walt Disney World in Florida. You don't want to piss off Floridians, because many of them, I would say a good majority of them.
Well, at Disney, in general in Orlando, they mostly lean.
Well, yeah, but I'm just
Democrat.
talking statewide. If they're appealing to the entire state of Florida, they're banking on locals because people aren't traveling because of the pandemic.
Well, they're going to do the same in California.
Yeah, you don't want to piss them off. And if you're making it very obvious that you're anti-conservative, you're going to piss off a lot of people.
Not just the Florida people. There's a lot of people that go to the parks. And if you consider half the country voted, for conservative leaning, then you're pissing off half your fan base. And just for a business standpoint, you're better just to leave the business out of it. You're better to leave politics out of the business. You're better just to have a list of guidelines. Here's what everybody has to adhere to, whether you lean right or left, doesn't matter. We're not gonna base anything on political affiliations. We're just gonna base it on, business choices.
Yeah.
And move from there. And they're not. And I'm sorry, no matter how much you try to say there are not these things going on, there are these things going on. It's a running joke about Hollywood right now.
Yeah. It's absolutely going on, and they're lying to everybody's faces. It's very, very clear the direction of Disney going forward with all the initiatives to, alter the rides that might be deemed offensive by Twitter or whatever. Again, the different causes that they're supporting. It's very, very clear where Disney's loyalties lie, and a lot of consumers that are on the opposite side of the aisle are like, what the hell? What the hell? Just either treat everybody the same.
That's what I'm saying.
Or just knock it off with the politics.
Right, exactly.
Like, we don't want you to be political, but Disney's like, oh, we're not political. We treat everyone the same. And
no, you're not. It's obvious you don't.
Very obvious. Very, very obvious.
At least you look really stupid. Just say nothing or actually just tell the truth.
Yeah, but I think it was gross that shareholders aren't allowed to ask Disney tough questions without the media jumping all over them.
Right. And then we had Pro, who actually had some stuff to say about it. That picture, though.
Oh boy, I'm the boss.
That's a funny picture. He's the one that was talking about what he didn't say. And he's like, well, he can't exactly say, He can't answer it the way people want to answer because he has to think about the company and the backlash, and they can't change it now. What's been done is done. So basically, they have to look forward, like Kathleen Kennedy. At least for now, they did not say they were renewing her contract. They just said, because she's got a contract up in the fall. They didn't say we're renewing her contract because,
Well, so we look forward to working with her in years to come. Now, the rumor we'd heard before was that after Disney, she might go start her own studio, and it's possible she produces material for like Disney Plus or whatever. So technically, they're still working for her. She's just not,
or she's
working with them. She's just not in charge of Star Wars.
Right. So he didn't say, that, oh yes, we're extending her contract. He didn't say that. Doesn't mean now he did say years to come, so who knows what that means. But he also brought the fact about the Gina Carano standpoint. He's just like, it was a double standard, but, what's he supposed to say? Because they're not going to admit they did wrong.
Yeah.
They're not going to admit, yeah, we screwed up.
Yeah. He didn't say that, Gina was wrong and that's why she's fired. He could have gone on some Lucasfilm bent and been like, she said abhorrent things and we had to get rid of that Nazi girl.
Yeah, he didn't say that. He just basically talked over it. But I love this, everybody should live in peace and harmony. Yeah, most people want that. But people like the media and like Mary Sue and these other sites, they don't want that.
Yeah.
They don't want peace and harmony. They want it to just be, we just want to continue the bullshit. We want to continue pointing out. I just did a thing today about, I am so tired of people getting mad about stuff. And then it's because they're conservatives. It's because they're this. That's like, no, it's because it's stupid and it's shitty. And I don't care who you are. There's people that are mad about it that aren't conservatives. I'm just tired of this double standard. I saw another article today on CBR about how they're tying WandaVision into the Star Wars again, the sequel trilogy again, and about fans being shit. Again today, we keep telling you, if you look, you'll see these patterns. One person starts it. There's an initiative because they want to get Rian Johnson his trilogy. Mm-hmm. So they're all putting all that stuff together and they're trying to create drama with fans of WandaVision that really aren't there or really isn't there just so they can get hits.
They're not even, the thing about the Rian Johnson is I don't even think these news outlets really give a shit if Rian Johnson gets a trilogy. They just want to do it to give the finger to the fandom.
Right.
Be like, guess what? He's not done with Star Wars. There you go.
Because people call them out many, many times. So, the media does more damage to Disney and these companies than anybody else does.
Yeah, we need more unbiased news sources. We talked yesterday about how there used to be fan sites out there. And then what happens is they get gobbled up by these corporations and you have a lot of freelance writers kind of just go from site to site to site like a bunch of freaking parasites writing the same garbage. They all talk to each other. You go to the bios of a lot of these journos, like I wrote for this site and this site and this site.
And they're all the same kind of site?
And it's all the same kind of site. And a lot of these sites were propped up with venture capital for years, because there were initiatives to get more, diverse voices out there years ago, and there's money flowing. Venture capital usually runs out after 5 years. So a lot of these sites that had a 5-year run are struggling. They're scrambling. Look at what happened with Huffington Post. Now it's been around longer, but BuzzFeed's even like, yeah, we can't afford to put more money into it.
Oh, I know. It's just ridiculous. But at the end, I'm going to wrap this up here in a second. But at the end of the thing, for Bob Chapek to talk about integrity and values, then show some.
Yeah. And that's a weaselly, greasy non-answer.
I wouldn't use integrity to describe how one person, that Pedro Pascal is allowed to make all kinds of, Holocaust references to certain groups of people in a negative way. But Gina Carano is not allowed to make a reference that she didn't even tie it to any political group. Certain people are allowed to not have their pronouns in their bio. Like a lot of people they've white knighted for do not have pronouns in their bio. But Gina Carano didn't put hers in her bio, and even though the people demanded that she didn't do it, and then she's the one who's canceled for it. And then the media runs with, only this one part of the story, not the entire story.
Yeah.
And Disney, just lets her get fired over it. They have these double standards about all this stuff. If you want people to believe that you have values and integrity, then you put a list of values and integrity and you hold everybody accountable to the same values. And then you start demonstrating you have these values. Values, what, your family values? You mean like where your people get like CEOs or these executives get like these ridiculous $1 million bonuses?
Oh, the $11 million bonuses when you let 32,000 people go?
Where the cast members are funding the food pantry for their friends themselves, and by the donations of people that give it to them. Show us some values and integrity, Disney, and maybe people like us will stop harassing you because we want you. We want you to show those values and integrity. We don't want to be mad at you. We want to love you again. We want to.
There we go.
Yeah.
I can't top that. We gonna wrap this one up?
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys, and surely some more dismal Disney news. It seems like it's nothing but dismal coming out of Disney these days. Hopefully they get their act together. Yeah. Talk to you later.
Bye.